the Lord just did it. I remember going in there one Sunday morning. I was still drunk. I'd been drinking and partying all night.
And then I just started like thinking of when I was in that youth group back at Grace Tabernacle. I'm like, man, like I was so happy then. And I started to talk about like how like good and powerful God was.
I remember going up to the altar of the church and standing before God. And I was shaking. I was sick to my stomach. I was a mess. And I just said, God, if this is for real, if you're who these people say you are, then today has to be the day. I've got to know now, because otherwise I'm done. I wanted to end my life.
All of a sudden, like he just came in like a flood, boom, and like hit me like right on the head, and I just started like crying. I was shaking.
I just kind of said, God, whatever you're doing, just do it. I know you're trying to do something in me, so just do it.
God just touched my life. Like, what was that? And I was like, God, in heaven, God as I knew it, just God, just heard my prayer and rocked me.
I didn't really like hear his voice, but I just felt like his heat in his presence, you know what I mean? And I was like, I need to get out of here. I put down my beer, I put down my weed, and I'm just like, I'm out of here, man.
A lot of things were released inside of me. Seeds of rejection and, just loneliness and fatherlessness and lies that have been imparted in my life.
And after I confessed this to God, it was immediately like that the Lord struck my heart, and I hit the floor in tears, and I cried as I'd never cried before, and what took place that day was deliverance.
What was that? And I began flipping out. I began dancing up and down in my room foolishly. Just foolishly dancing, flipping out like, oh, you're real.
God has just completely began this awesome transformation in my life.
And so that was the beginning of a journey that I'm still on, and he's still wrecking me, and I'm still just as foolish.
I sensed God, I responded, and here I am now. And he's just been faithful to carry me along the way, you know what I mean?
I was liberated miraculously from something that had held me captive for 4 years prior to this.
I'm learning so much about what it means to have true relationship, true friendship, having just a family surrounding.
Just being confident in myself and through Christ, just being just walking with my head up and not shameful and not hating myself,
Right now, my relationship with my mom is awesome. It's on the up and up, She supports what I'm doing.
God took his hand and squeezed my heart and drained every bit of addiction and caused that spirit to flee from my life that was holding me captive. And I left that church over 4 years ago today, and I've never used a drug again. And I've been set free from that. And the Lord, he delivered me from that.
We talk. She's like a friend to me now,
Since I met God, I actually got reunited with my real father. I actually got to meet him, and that was definitely a God thing. And God slowly but surely restoring my family life.
It was the first time I'd ever experienced God in the way that I did that evening. And it was a very powerful time. It changed my life forever.
Looking back now that I do know God, I can see many places where he was there, you know what I mean? Where he would minister to me without me even knowing it.
It's a powerful, powerful thing to lay your life down and just seek first his kingdom and his righteousness.
The reality of God came. His presence came, his spirit came, and I experienced God in a way that I didn't even understand was possible.
I'm all about intimacy with Jesus. And so that's my life, and it's like Paul said, I count everything rubbish, just for the sake of knowing him. Just knowing him.
Because then it's all on him, and he's the one who draws you, he's the one who loves you, he's the one who provides for you, he takes care of it all. It's like we don't have to plan our life out and worry because God already has it all written down in a book.
I've come through great revelation of his love, who he is as a father, who I am in him.
He's great, man. He's powerful.